Hey everybody, and welcome to another day of awesome crypto. And of course, the prices are down again, which means even more dollar cost averaging. But accumulation is the way. And of course, the first year is pretty good. We're going to talk about that straight away. We're also going to talk about the crypto market. It obviously is bearish as well. And of course, Binance is also being hit by a lot of regulatory things, just as Richard Hart was. And of course, we're going to talk about that too. And also stablecoins. We're talking a lot about stablecoins today. What is a dollar? We've got pDai, we've got CST, we've got our own native stablecoins. They play a pivotal role in valuations and things like that. So we're going to talk about all about that. We're going to get into obviously Hex Daily Stats at the end and cover all the markets. So I hope you guys enjoy it today. We've got a few project updates today, not a lot, but I think there's at least two. There's actually a third one, but we're going to talk about that a bit later. So maybe 2 or 3 project updates as well. Let's see who's in the house. Let's get everything set up, though. We're not set up everything. So bam. Big welcome to everybody on Superman Crypto, of course. Views have been going up on Superman Crypto, so big shout out over there. Really enjoying it. And I hope you guys are enjoying it too. The engagement in live streams has got better too, so definitely get engaged. That's what crypto is all about. Even if it's a bear market or a bull market, be consistent. That's the number one thing, consistency. And of course, we live stream every single day here. And a big shout out to everybody on Hex Token channel as well. And of course, consistency is key, and abiding your time, taking good risk management when necessary, but also accumulation and dollar cost averaging is pretty good strategies too. The other thing I was going to say is that, I've been doing some experiments on Twitter. And I did them yesterday. Came up some very interesting data. So I've been doing some pretty cool stuff based on some ideas that I've got off pretty much a master of this stuff. And I got some of the results, excuse me, some of the results I wanted to see. So it definitely helps to steer in the right direction. And picking up the impressions and views and things on Twitter has been a pretty big deal. So as you guys know, sort of been moving the strategy of the channel to expand on Twitter. Obviously with Elon Musk saying that they're going to be a bit more free speech. We hope so. Hope they deliver on that. And of course, monetizing Twitter to basically compete against YouTube, things like that, which I think is great because as we know on YouTube, it's all controlled. It's all left wing. And of course, they put censorship on everything, right? They're trying to control us. We do have limitations there. So we're going to keep pushing forward with that. And the impressions got up over month is up like 800-900% increase in impressions. So that's heading in the right direction. That means a lot more eyeballs are getting onto it, and certainly getting into a lot of different markets. So trying to really reach out and get that Pulsechain word out there. And of course, I've got a number of things I've still yet to do. So I've got about a 5-pronged strategy on Twitter. I started concentrating on 2 of them yesterday. Some of you may have picked up some of those things yesterday. If you were following me on Twitter, you probably would have picked up some of the things that I was doing and wondering, hey, he normally never comments on things like that, and I normally never do. But of course, we're looking to grow now, so you might see me commenting on certain posts and going, wow, okay, that's pretty interesting. It's just the beginning, and so we're going to be doing more experiments. And you're going to see me posting on some channels that you might be surprised about, which is going to be pretty fun. Now, the whole point of that, of course, is getting tens of thousands of views on the tweets and the comments and things like that. So that's kind of the strategy. And yesterday was pretty interesting. I might pull out some data on that. We might look at that another time. And maybe tomorrow even might do that. Sounds like a good topic. Looking to grow and to get the reach, right? Reach out to new people and reach out to existing people, and just talk about all the cool things on Pulsechain, coming to Pulsechain, and of course Hex as well. So that's pretty much a bit of an opening speech there, but really cool stuff happening on the growth stuff. We're not going anywhere. We're just ramping it up, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So tell your friends if they love consistent Pulsechain content that's going to be covering that's documenting Pulsechain, and then get them to come over to Hex Token and Superman Crypto. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's jump into the chat. See who's here. We got Lies Beneath. Hello, how are you today? I'm very good. While outside it's sunny again for 2 days in a row, which is unbelievable. We've had more rain than ever. Our global boiling down in New Zealand has been unbelievable with the amount of water we've been hit with our global boiling. So it's absolutely incredible. And I'm going out for a walk. So I'm on walk number 32. 32. And I encourage you guys to get out there, get your fitness and health up as well. 32. Remember, my goal is 300 days. And today, that's so sunny out there, I'm going to enjoy it. I might even get a little haircut. Who knows? It could be the way on the halfway line. We got the ultimate strategy, of course, Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLS6 for the win. And incentive, of course, you got to accumulate while you can. These prices at the moment are still delivering even more volume to you. So you're picking up more volume. And yeah, way below some of the whale sacrifice prices, particularly for Pulsechain at the moment. DG and Hexagon, geez, I wish people would stop selling because I'm spending all my money buying. That's true. I mean, you do get those feelings, and I guess it's about just controlling that. You can always do some risk management if it's not your thing to accumulate. You can always do a bit of risk management, but we understand, you know, when prices are down, everybody's portfolio is down. And that includes all the big whales. So the big whales prices are down. A lot of people selling down this range will be selling at a loss. Markets, you can sell at a loss, right? So that's a feature of markets. But of course, you can also pick up a lot more volume, which is pretty amazing as well. Wookie's in house says Wookie is renaming the Millennium Falcon to Diminishing Returns. Says Wookie, nice one, Wookie. We got Archie in the house as well. Hi, all good to see you, Archie. Now, Archie's been posting a lot of stuff about TYRH in our other token Discord. So if you go to our Discord, I'm sure one of the moderators will post the link in the chat there. If you haven't joined, join up. We've got amazing engaged community on Discord, heading towards 1,300 members. And of course, Archie's been posting some really big intel about the TYRH ecosystem, even managed to get some accidental drops about V4 coming up. So definitely check out Archie's post on TYRH. So big shout out to Archie, you legend. Really, really cool info there. So you'll only see it there on the Hex Token Discord. It is some of the secret source got accidentally leaked there and then hidden again. So get into our Discord, you can see all the snapshots. So yeah, very, very cool. And of course, TYRH has been a top performer. So like a boss as we say. What else we got going there? We got stake Hex, high stake Hex in the house. Superman, what's up? Can you believe these prices? Those who haven't done much research on the ecosystem probably think this is bad. Those of us who have know us a golden opportunity. So pump DCA, absolutely. You are so onto that. So DCA is the key. Accumulating in this first 6 to 12 months, very important. The other thing, of course, is that I saw a comment about Pulsechain being a ghost chain. I mean, which chain? Why they had no evidence, of course, and then they go, "Oh, ghost chain. Well, why is it we got to buy and burn? It's going up through the roof every day. What the hell are they talking about? We got the burners at 1.8% in only 101 days. I mean, are they not watching the chain? It's just typical trolling on the on Twitter, which you get, right? We got Moonshot as well. Let's go. Absolutely, let's go. Woohoo! We got Joey Torres as well. Good to see Joey. And Rich May, TYRH, up to the moon. Yeah, it's doing very, very well. And it's holding up during this these prices going down too, which is part of the tokenomics, I guess. Pretty cool. Love the prices, says Moonshot. Very nice. Texas One says I picked up some more cheap EHEX as well. Yeah, that's definitely cheap. That is so well played. It is really a good price to get in for sure. Love the Pulse Drip. The Pulse Drip says Moonshot. Okay, you're in Pulse Drip. Interesting. You got to let us know how that goes. Get onto our Discord. I have covered that many times, of course, right from the beginning. So people would have got pretty good prices if they had entered early. So yeah, definitely get into that. Hex Force One in house. Good day, Superman. Good to see you. Angor as well. Hello. Welcome. And of course, one of our two community leaders, Brian's in house. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Toxic Hedgehog as well. Good to see you as well. Who else has jumped in here? We got Brennan in house, our TA specialist. Morning, folks. Good to see you, Brennan. And we've also got Tin Top as well. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tin Top, as well. I always do that when Tin Top comes in, or at least most of the time. We got Humberto as well. Cheers, Superman and family. Good to see you, Humberto. And Dominican Republic, rocking it in the chat there as well. Who else has jumped in here? We're going to keep going. That is the Discord link. Yeah, thanks, Brian, for that. If you want to join our Discord, I do encourage you. We have a great community in there, very supportive. And, of course, we also have a Pulsechain helpline in there as well, which is probably the only one that exists. I'm pretty sure the only one that exists is in our Discord. And I'm not joking about that. You could go ask, but pretty cool. Some places you'll go into and they'll tell you to get lost. They'll tell you ask a question. I want a question about this. They'll just tell you to get lost. But in our Discord, we've got so many people that are very helpful and they'll help you out. So get in there if you want to do that. We've also got all the links to Pulsechain. We've got just an awesome community. Good audio chats. You want to get into chat with a bunch of people, you can get in there on those too. King Kong says the Pulsechain ecosystem is currently collapsing. Capitulation, says King Kong. Well, the price markets go down and markets go up, King Kong. And at the moment, we've got bearish markets. And of course, we also had the SEC. So, but the buy and burn on Pulsex is going up, up, and away. So I wouldn't be worried too much about that. Tom Boss in the house there. TYRH is amazing. Been slowly moving lots of other coins into, says Tom Boss. Nice. What else we got going there? Rev 10 as well. Woohoo! Good day, everybody. Good to see you, Rev 10. Let's get into it, folks. Now, I wanted to pull up this, so let's go back. Let me just change my format here. And, I've still got that up. I've got to get rid of that then. Where does that go? Remove that. Bam. Anyway, we got a bit of a word from Johnny Chaos. So if you're wondering about the prices, maybe you're not in the position to be actually buy, accumulate more at this time, and so you've just got the ones that you've just got the crypto that you bought on Pulsechain, and of course, or you've sacrificed for, and you're wanting the portfolio is obviously going down, and that's included for the big whales, right? It's happening for the big whales too, and of course, some of them had spent 15, 20, $30 million on that, so there is those people as well. So just remember that if you're in that boat. Now, here's a bit of a word about Johnny Chaos and a bit of wisdom from Johnny Chaos about this topic. So let's hear from him.
I told you guys, year one for Pulse is accumulation year, period. If you expected it to go up 10x to 100x in the first couple months, first couple days, whatever you thought it was going to do, I told you no. I told you it takes 1 to 2 years for a new chain to even mature. I also said the price could go as low as 1/10 of the sacrifice rate. Because you get these moon concepts in your head and think that's what it's supposed to do. Those are expectations that you put on yourself, what you expected it to do. I can walk up to a roulette table and I can expect to hit 00 first shot, but it doesn't mean I'm going to, now does it? Okay? These expectations are what you put on yourself. It takes a new chain 1 to 2 years to even get out of the gate. Anybody that sold Hex year one regrets it. Yes, even at today's prices, year one prices were much worse, and selling Hex at year one prices sucked. You'd been better off selling year two. So where are we at with a brand new chain? Accumulation. That's where we're at. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you.
So there we are, some wise words from Johnny Chaos. That said, of course, we do have all the big protocols coming up. Liquid Loans, Pulsechain, PH Universe, and of course we've got the Fetch Oracle is the trigger for that. And of course we've got a whole bunch of others that we've covered on this channel the last couple of days as well, also coming to launch. So we've got lots coming up. We've also got potentiality for single-site staking pools as well. And of course, we see that we are actually getting pretty good turnover with the Pulsex buy and burn. That seems to be ticking away, but certainly some wise words about expectation and about the accumulation phase in the first 6 to 12 months of Pulsechain in particular. So very important to remember that. So the main thing, of course, is also to get out there and spread the word, right? Spread the word about the opportunity and the fact that, hey, look, you can get these prices at this price and you can pick this up. These projects are coming, so they've got lots of things that you can talk about. So very, very cool. Anita says, Johnny, full of wisdom. Indeed, he is. And of course, what else we got there? Rome wasn't built in a day, says Brennan. That is true. All right, let's get into the markets. We're going to kick off. That was our first topic, as you guys know, Pulsechain accumulation. So we're going to get into which one am I sharing here? I'm not even sure. We're going to go into this one and get into the markets. So let's have a look at this. We're going to get into Bearish crypto markets. It's our second topic for the day. And of course, BTC 25,996, trying to hold on to 26K at the moment. BTC is down 54%. The dominance is at 47.64%. That is BTC. So it's not all fun and roses in the old crypto generally, is it? So that's also true. We're in bearish market conditions. ETH, of course, is at 1632, down 2.16%. And of course, that does have some news potentially, like I said, around the proto-dank sharding. We could get a bit of an uplift from that in the future. And also, obviously, Pulsechain is the first full system state copy of Ethereum. So we get the upgrades from those as well. Obviously, no expectations, but our chain is upgradable because we're the first full system state copy of Ethereum. and can do the upgrades. We looked at that the other day with Dipcatcher and, of course, with Bretep, the Pulsechain dev, about the time frame that those happen for all the clients that the validators are running to validate the blocks and transactions on the Pulsechain. So pretty exciting there. We get to get the upgrade. So we get part of the excitement. That also means potentially we get part of the uplift as well on good times for Ethereum. And of course, a bigger pipe. A bigger pipe means more transactions through per second. So it could be pretty fun too. We're already 10 seconds versus 12 seconds on per block, which is 17% faster. So, hashtag winning. You just got to be biding your time on that. The other thing, of course, is BNB. BNB's been under a lot of pressure, right? So BNB is down at $210. So obviously Pulsechain with the Richard Hart SEC has had that Black Swan event. But the chain itself is run by the people. Pulsechain is a people's chain. The validators are just over 39,400 validators. They just keep ticking away the chain. And, of course, all the code on the chain is immutable, right? So nothing of that can be impacted. But, of course, the FUD from the SEC versus Richard Hart is still out there. And, of course, a BNB is having the same problem, right? Coinbase too. They're all under the thumb of the SEC. So BNB having a bit of pressure at the moment. We can see that some of the articles at the moment, and they're not talking about Pulsechain. They're talking about the Binance coin and the woes continue as liquidation fears mount. Binance coin decline has raised concerns about a possible large-scale liquidation below $210, and it just happens to be that at the moment we're at $210, which is kind of funny. But Binance issues with SEPA transfers have resulted in a further decline in BNB's value, causing a 32% loss since June. So they're also under pressure there. And the lawsuits against Binance pile up. The crypto industry fears a repeat of the FTX FTT token collapse. I don't know if that's quite that bad, but certainly they're under a lot of pressure there. Withdraw crypto with no fee. So you've got lots of things like that happening. That's an ad there. Oh, my bad. But yeah, so you've got a lot of issues going on there with BNB. Now, the thing that they've got BNB is trying to do, so BNB US, which is really under the thumb from the SEC, looks to crypto to start up a MoonPay as an alternative after US bank cut ties. Remember, this was all coordinated pretty much. So the US, the SEC and the banks, the crypto banks that we had, there were 3 crypto banks. And of course, one of them was closed down regardless. The other 2 had some issues. But basically, that was just to attack crypto, right? Because they're wanting to move to a centralized control. I said to this that, you can argue yourself, but the Democrats and all that and all the deep state and all those players are all moving to try and get permanent control. In other words, never lose election, have control over the people, what you can say, what you can do, what you can consume. So this is where we're at the moment. And of course, Binance US looks to a crypto startup. They're trying to get alternative payment means at the moment. Payment partnership allows users to convert dollars to Tether. Exchange has been unable to process user dollars directly. And a big tie-in with this is Europe. Europe's regulations, right, are part of the system where they're trying to lock everybody in. So, either whether it's through the the WHO, the Health Organization, or the UN, or through the European Union's standards and setups, it's all control. There is no freedom in any of that. And so they're looking to try and get an alternative for Binance US in terms of stable coins. Fortunately for us, we have our own native stable coins, which should give us a lot of protection as well. So that's what we'll look at. We're going to talk about that topic. It's our third topic of the day. So a bit of pressure there for the old Binance there. But of course, you need your fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. And of course, Binance is looking to do that too. So that's pretty much it for the crypto market. You can see the rest of the markets are pretty much similar prices. The real down one there is Maker. Maker is down 5% there. Maker's down 5%. And SHIB has been doing not too bad, actually. SHIB is kind of holding its own, being kind of green there too. All right. That's pretty much it on there. That's the markets. Let's go to Pulsechain. Pulsechain there is at quadruple 0382. So we're down again, of course. 11.1%. And of course, we really are in the getting in the whale, almost into the whale zone here. We're almost into Overwatch prices here, which I think is, if I remember right, is quadruple 02. So we're twice as much as that. But they'll be watching these prices. Hex Gold will be watching these prices. All those top sacrifices will be watching these prices, right? So this is where we're at the moment. So we're at 38% of the Pulsechain price at the moment. And of course, let's go have a look at the chart. The chart there, that's the chart. we can see that we had quite a big drip today. Yesterday we thought was, it was breaking that support line yesterday. We had the support for about 8 days, remember? Let's just bring up the old, wrong one there. Let me put it here. So we've been pretty much, how many, 8 days? 8 days. 8 days we've been holding up in this range around about 4,400 with 4 zeros in front of it, of course. 4 zeros, 4 zeros. But then we broke down yesterday, and we're breaking down again today, and today was even bigger. And obviously Bitcoin there was dropping below the 26 as well, so we're getting a bit of downward pressure from that. And a BNB, of course, news. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Obviously, we've broken through. We broke through this line here too. And we're about to close that candle in 2 minutes. So that's pretty much banked in there. We're down at quadruple 038. So let's zoom out from here. This is the daily, by the way. So let's zoom out of there, and let me just get rid of the. Let me just push this over here a little bit there. Let's get rid of that chart there so I can do some scaling here. All right, so that is the price. Let's have a quick look at how far down we are. Remember the other day we looked at Hex. Hex had been down early on. It was early on over a shorter period of phrase, down about 80%. And of course, here we are at the moment. We are down 87% at the moment. So we're down 7% from the high, which was back there on the 22nd of May. And so what's a 90% move down? This is where Johnny Cash talking about, you could get 10% of the sacrifice, but in terms of the actual all-time high here at the beginning of Pulsechain, 90% is around about 2,600. So we're really getting down into the whale sacrifice prices there for like Overwatch. So that's pretty, that's where they are. And of course, that's potentially we could, get down as low as that. Now, nothing's inevitable, of course, but that is a 90% retrace on that is down to what did I say? 2,800. Sorry, 2,800 there for that. So around about 28 or 2,900, let's say 2,900 on that one. If we get there, we're currently at 3,800 with 4 zeros in front. So that is the old Pulsechain. Pulsex at the moment is quadruple 0117, and we're only 11.7, just under 12% of the sacrifice price. So this is dramatic compared to Pulse, right? But of course, the buy and burn on Pulsex is dramatically better than what you see on Pulse, for example. So we're at just under 12%. One pulse at the moment, we get 3.24 Pulsex. That's kind of where we are at the moment. So huge. This is below the whale sacrifice prices, right? So this is even more dramatic than Pulse at the moment, but the actual buy and burn is spectacular. So we're doing very well on the buy and burn. So all the transactions activity on the chain are doing very well, and we don't have the biggest protocols yet launching, right? So we're talking about PH Universe with Fiat and Famous, forks of Aave, and particularly Famous, the fork of GMX. That's going to be the really powerhouse in my view. And of course, because the yields are so high. And then, of course, we've got Power City with a number of protocols in DeFi space, particularly the Earn protocol with the PLSX fork. PLSX collateralization, and of course, liquid loans with the PLS collateralization. And of course, all those bring leverage lending, and leverage lending pumps assets. So that's kind of what we're waiting for there. So we got the buy and burn at the moment, set 373.7 billion Pulsex, and that's 1.8% of the public supply, which excludes the Origin account, which is part of Richard Hart's tokenomics, is a no expectations agency that controls at least around about 90% of the supply, and of course it just sits there, doesn't do much other than protect the people in the chain from whales, and in terms of Hex, protects the inflation rate and regulates inflation and other things like that, or deflation. Obviously, no expectations as well as part of the gambit there. All right, so that is kind of where we are on that. So let's go have a look at the Pulsex price. Pretty similar, obviously, to Pulsechain, but here, obviously, we've had a much more aggressive fall from the sacrifice price, and of course, we're actually below the whale price here. We got 4 zeros, 11.90 at the moment. And of course, let's have a quick look at what a 90% pullback would be. Let's get rid of the chart over the right there. And let's have a look. Let's see how far down we are at the moment. So we're currently down 91.6%, so more aggressive than on Pulsechain. So we're already down there already. I was going to say let's have a look at 90%, but 90% is actually back here at 1400, and we were defending 1400 at 90% pullback for about 8 days as well. And of course, we broke through that, and now we have just started a brand new candle, that green candle. Let's hopefully we etch out a green candle in there. That'd be nice. But we're actually down closer to closer to 91.75%, so just under 92% there. 95% retrace in this case, then I guess would be all the way down at 7,500 with 5 zeros in front. So fingers crossed with that. That would be losing a 0 too, by the way. Yeah, let's see how we get on there. All right, the lowest price we've had so far, after we launched, of course, after ratio trading, was here on the 2nd of August at the bottom of the SEC pullback, and that was down at 5 zeros. We actually hit 5 zeros, 9828. That is the loss so far. So let's see if we can manage to find a floor here at 1188. We'll be looking out for that. Now, Brendan's in the chat too. Brendan will probably have some comments on that. Don't know what your thoughts are on the charts there. But that is pretty much that on that. If you want to talk about charts and that, we do have a pricing chat in our Discord, which is a great place, and people like Brendan and that are in there that can comment about their view of the TA as well. Now, the incentive token at the moment, $1.35 is down 13.5%. So obviously the worst performer of the day. The ratio at the moment is 35,467 pulse per incentive. The amount of incentive tokens in existence is 8.8 million. And but of course, thanks to Jacob and the TRH a game or DeFi game, we've got 42,000 that has been burned. So 41,700 incentive tokens has been burned, which is almost 0.5%, which is pretty good. It's got 0.47% there. That's doing pretty well. Now, let's have a quick look at that chart. That's the chart in US dollars terms, so down at what, $1.35. It was all the way up here, of course, at $81. So good times back up there. Let's have a look, switch over to the pulse ratio, though. The pulse ratio has been as high as 316,000 pulse per incentive. That is now down at 35,000, or basically back to where we started on the pump. So that pump started there when we got the incentive pools out. Yeah, that pump has really been a big deal. So not bad. All right, what else? We got Hex, of course. PHEX there. PHEX down dramatically today. So we're down at 00634 on the PHEX, and of course EHEX there is down at 0036. One PHEX at the moment will get 166 pulse, and one PHEX will get 1.77 EHEX at the moment. So definitely PHEX there been hit pretty hard on that price. The combined price is 00992, so we've just dropped below 1 cent. So that is the price target there. Remember, we've recently been up at 1.1 yesterday. We're at 1.2, 1.3, 1.5. So we've just slowly been shedding off that. And let's have a look at the EHEX price. The EHEX. EHEX at the moment is at 00634. Yesterday we were up at 00733, and the day before we were up at 70078, so just on 18 of pennies. So we've had quite a drop in the last 2 days here, but we are tending towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So we'll see whether that gives us some sort of reprieve there. But yeah, that is over the last 2 days. That is down, 19% in the last 2 days. So pretty decent decrease there. Let's have a look at EHEX. EHEX at the moment, obviously, didn't do too bad yesterday. Had a nice little, actually, it kind of looks like an almost bullish butterfly doji. But of course, we got a red candle in here today, pretty big pull down at the 00479. So people are selling. This is the way it is. So the reason why prices go down ultimately is that more people are selling than more people are buying. The other thing, of course, is that that's how markets work. So that's pretty much it. Now, the other point I was going to say is that the volume that you've got in there is there's not a lot of volume. There's not a lot of volume, right? So as you get into Uniswap V2, because that's what we're using on Pulsechain in particular, is that as you're taking one token out of the pool and the other token going in the pool, and so the price is going to move down faster, but they're also going to move up faster. Does that make sense? So as people take more out, because of the X times Y equals K formula that's used for these V2 pools, it's going to mean basically that if people take more out yesterday and then they take more out today, then it's going to go down at a faster rate, right? So that's pretty much it, especially when you have more sellers than buyers, right? So And then, of course, the opposite is true. So if we eventually find a floor and the price starts going back up, more people are going to put back the stuff they took out and take out the other stuff that they had. In this case, Pulse or Hex, right, in this pool. So that's pretty much it. All right. So that is they've got the combined price. Did we show that? Yeah, that's the combined price at the moment. So this is 1 cent, this line here. That is 1 cent. So if we get a little, this is on InvestX, by the way, if you're wondering where this chart is. This is EX and PX together. And that is the 1 cent mark. Let me just give this a bit of bigger, heavy percolation there. So that is the 1 cent mark. And so we've just been zapping around that at the moment. That is EX and PX combined. So it is on the 15-minute chart candle. So these aren't daily candles, 15-minute charts. And you can see we're trying to get back to this 1 cent at the moment. We're at 009914. Pretty good prices to pick up old Hex there too, right? So that is pretty much on the charts. Let's move around to the highlight here. So even though we've got prices going down, the Pulsex buy and burn continues to go up. And of course, as long as you've got a decent amount of transactions going through, volumes, that's really cool. And like I say, the big thing is that we've got so many more projects coming, and of course, single side staking potentially, and of course, also a lot of those big protocols are going to bring on leverage lending. So these guys are they're looking at the market. They've got technical things they have to get up. They've got to get the fetch oracle up for liquid loans, and they've also got to take into account the market conditions. So they'll be thinking about that, and they want to launch at the perfect time, right? Yeah, it'd be pretty good for leverage lending if you're launching near the bottom of the price diet, right? So because the only way is generally up, and so you're going to get probably a lot more risk taking that way. So it's going to be interesting to see that too. But you want to get a bit of stability in the market first, and that's why they delayed launching as well. So that's the other side of it, and it's turned out to be a good move because obviously the SEC event there has had an impact. The other thing, of course, we've got to wait for the SEC impact to have its major flow up, and of course we can see here on Pulse that we're only so far into it about 22 days to 3 weeks. So maybe a couple more weeks that we could start to see the market started to cool down a bit, calm down a bit. We will see what happens there, and then of course we get the protocols start to launch. So we're probably looking at probably the backside of the second half of September at the moment is my guess, but we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Who knows with liquid lines, Power City, and all that. Now Power City has to also wait for liquid lines fetch oracle, right? Fetch oracle is the trigger for these big protocols. All right. The other cool thing about those protocols too is that people will be able to put their Pulse and their Pulsex on them and not have to sell them. And it also may benefit them in tax advantage. Also, they get to then go and buy more of Pulse and Pulsex. So it really is a leverage lending win. The other thing, of course, is that they're both going to have issued new stable coins, which is going to be our third topic. So it's going to be really cool too. So once again, you just got to stay cool and do what you can. If you want to do risk management, you do risk management. If you want to accumulate, you do accumulation. If you just can't do anything, you're not going to do nothing, just hodl. These are the ways it goes at the moment. Look at the validators. We've got validators at the moment. At the moment, we're up to 39,389, so it's looking pretty good. And we haven't really seen any exits here recently, so this is a strong sign of a long-term chain. Remember, Pulsechain is the people's chain, the first full system state copy of Ethereum. And of course, the validators is a big sign of long-term confidence. So looking really good there. And we've got 1.26 trillion Pulse off the market. And of course, liquid loans protocol is going to help with that too. And a lot of other protocols that will be staking Pulse as well. Fork of Aave, people put Pulse on there too. There's lots of, what's the other one? Famous, they're going to put Pulse on there too, and no doubt some of Power City stuff. So there's lots of cool things where Pulse is going to go off the market, which is kind of cool. And the big whales can play, which is nice too. Give the whales a sandpit and see what they can do. All right, so we've got the gas prices there. We've got at the moment we've got Pulsex swap is 2 cents, 1/10 of a penny for Pulse coin transfer, and 4/10 of a penny for PSC transfer. We're 403 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. 200 times cheaper than Bitcoin. And of course, if there's a bull market does turn around, crypto can change from month to month. I mean, you can suddenly get things reversing pretty quickly in crypto. And of course, we get into a bull market before any upgrades to Ethereum happen. These gas prices go through the roof, and Pulsechain looks a very good place to do business as well. So that's kind of another upside there. Compounding, I always say this, compounding protocols, you can do that on a cheap chain. Try to do it on an expensive chain for the retail players. very, very not likely. They pretty typically die. They die a big death. So let's jump over to some of the news there. We're going to get into on Coast. I think we're going to Coast. Yeah. I'm going to talk about the stablecoins. Our third topic for the day. You guys enjoying? I'm enjoying it. Third topic for the day. We've talked about Pulsechain accumulation here, bearish crypto market, and of course now we've talked about Richard Hart gold crypto. We're going to get into pDai. What is a dollar on the Pulsechain? We're going to talk about that because it's going to be a booming area for Pulsechain. Is the stablecoin. Seems odd, but it is. It is a booming area for Pulsechain. Stuff that other people don't have. Other people really don't have, so it's going to be kind of cool like that. Other chains that don't have. Humberto's in the house there. Cheers, Superman and family. I think we got up to that one. Let's move past all that. I think we got up to Rev 10, I think. Oh, no. We got up to Johnny's there. Academic says down to 11K we go for Bitcoin. That's Academic Saturday's call there. I know that I'm pretty sure Holloway was calling 15K Bitcoin. Certainly heading in that direction, at least so far. We've got Azaban Pal in the house there. Cheers, family. Good to see you. Good to see you in the house there. Awesome content as always, Superman. I appreciate that. A big shout out to 61X. We've got Adam as well. They just want total control. That's all. Yes, that's true. That is true, Adam. A lot of people don't realize they are going for full control right now. What we're talking, they are doing multiple things. Yesterday, I think it was, YouTube put out new disinformation health things based on, guess what? You've got to remember, they're in the United States, and they're basing it on the WHO and European protocols. And, of course, it's all about control. Everything else that's not part of the official stuff there is fake. In other words, if you're a Nobel scientist and you have a different opinion and you want to express your opinion, you cannot. They will pull your information. You're a Nobel scientist in health. You could be, into disease specialist or a heart specialist or whatever. They will ban you if you don't line up to these organizations. And on these organizations, they don't often have even a lot of medical specialists. They have lawyers and other people on there, and also obviously part of the system. So this is how insidious it's becoming as they try to make their big play. But good point there, Adam. This is a crypto channel, but we do have a little sidetracks into the old freedom because freedom is under attack. Bloodfish King, g'day everybody. Good to see you, Bloodfish King. Christian says time to swap, says Christian. Adam says that ink chart looking so depressing. Lol, burn TRH, burn, says Adam. Yeah, TRH is obviously crushing it. We're going to look at that in a minute. I think that's coming down a bit later with the old Pulsechain projects. Valiant in the house there. Chain has spirit, will never die. The pulse goes on, pounding a rhythm to my brain. Sorry. Nice one there. Let's go, says Valiant. Nice words. How low can we go? Well, we just talked about that with the charts. 95% is defiantly on the table. RH wants max pain. Opportunity to reposition as a larger holder is on the table right now. Yes, the opportunity to reposition as a large holder is on the table. Yeah. And Richard will allow the market to do its thing. He's got his playbook that he's going to play out, but he does follow the market conditions and he will use that to his advantage. So, yeah, no expectations, but that's the speculations. Does that rhyme? No expectations, but that is the speculations. Is that kind of I think it kind of rhyme. All right. Yes, sir, says Christian. Nice to see you as well. Ashtree, woo! You get excited. All right. So we get into it. So this is from Coast. So Coast Stablecoin Truth. So I thought this was a really good post by them. Pulsechain now has a native coin CST. Now we've talked about that. It's kind of ended up being a soft launch. They've got wire transfers and ACH at the moment, and it's had a kind of soft launch there. Fortunately for Coast, the soft launch has been boosted by Crypto Coffee, who's the biggest influencer in the space. He covered this. He's probably got, I don't know how many, last time I heard 500 or so referrals or something. Now Coast, we need a Fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, direct to Pulsechain, right? So Coast is offering that. So we're very lucky to have that. And that's, you got two things that are, for Pulsechain. You need a direct on-ramp, at least one. And you also need multi-chain, cross-chain, right? We've got a couple of those cross-chain and bridges and things like that. So these are the areas that we've already got, and we need to grow them and develop them, right? So it's going to play there. So Stable Truths, of course, bring in new capital. Pulsechain now has a native stablecoin CST, and it's highlighting that some people don't fully understand how stablecoins maintain their $1 price. So this is where we get into the question is, we got this pDai at the moment. What is a dollar? What is a dollar? And Richard Hart's talked about that many times as well. So we're going to get into that. CST is minted when users on ramp to Pulsechain, and each token is backed by $1 in the CST collateral account. And of course, you can choose to move your money from your digital account to the CST collateral account, which will allow you to mint your own CST. So basically, you send your US dollars, and whether you're in the United States, UK, or whatever, and then you can get CST pretty much. Like you get your money. So CST stable on Pulsechain directly. Now, CST can only exist when $1 of economic energy is on-ramped, and at any stage, users can burn CST to receive USD in a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's always redeemable and issued. So it's always issued and redeemable CST for $1. That's pretty much it. The digital account. This is referred to as redemption, and it is an important concept with stablecoins. A token can only be a stablecoin if it is redeemable for $1. So it's always backed by fiat. Now, the big kicker here is that Richard Hart said that his version of stablecoins, there are 4 main models of stablecoins, and the fiat-backed one was always Richard's favorite, right? I think the other good one is also, we're getting both of those. We're getting liquid loans and PUSD. They're forking liquidity on Ethereum. That has proven to be a super duper stablecoin as well. And of course, that gives us it's collateralized against the main coin of the chain in terms of liquid loans, and of course, the main token of Pulsechain, which is Pulsechain. So that's the best way of doing it. And of course, they're always redeemable for one value of those tokens, whether those tokens go up or down. It's always redeemable for $1 of those tokens. A token can only be a stablecoin if it is redeemed for $1. Now, CST, like USDC, USD Tethered DAI on Ethereum, is simply a DeFi token in this case. So it's just a PRC20. So the actual token that you're bridging in for your stablecoin is just a PRC20 or an ERC20 on Ethereum. Also, CST is traded on decentralized exchanges such as Pulsechain and pHux. Now, pHux is a fork of Balancer, right? So it's pretty cool like that. Now, when a token trades in a liquidity pool, its price is not governed by its value, but simply by its ratio to other assets. So that's why you see it not peg at $1 all the time, but arbitrage is designed to peg that, right? Therefore, when a person trades CST for Pulse, that effectively exerts an amount of sell pressure on CST, and for a period of time, it will reduce its price. Importantly, remember we talked about the X times Y equals K formula for V2 on Pulsechain. That's why that happens. But the other side of it, of course, is that pHux and Pulsechain are using different ratio calculations, right? So pHux is more efficient. It's using a better, what they call a better variant mathematics for that, or stable mathematics that gives you a better ratio between stable coins than, say, Pulsechain does when you're swapping between 2 stable coins in particular. Therefore, a person trades CST for Pulse that effectively exerts an amount of sell pressure on CST, and for a period of time will reduce its price. Importantly, this does not reduce its value, which is derived from its redeemability for $1. So even if you got it for 69, even if you paid 96 cents for it, it's going to be worth $1. So you're going to make 4 cents on the dollar for that. So if you do redeem it yourself, all stable coins move around above and below $1. This is because they are sold and bought in different amounts of time, different amounts all the time. The next important concept is arbitrage. Many people derive their entire income from arbitrage value, and stablecoins is a good example. If you can buy CST for 98 cents and redeem it for $1, that is an easy profit. The best thing about stablecoin arbitrage is you don't have volatility risk. When somebody buys CST, it becomes slightly more scarce within the liquidity pool, and its prices increase. Conversely, when CST trades above $1, you can sell it for another asset, even another stablecoin, which causes the price to go down, and then buy it back at $1. Again, giving you a profit on the side. But now it's definitely true that deeper liquidity reduces price movements, as does trading within a stablecoin pool such as pHux, which is coming. And of course, but it is redeemability, but it's redeemability and arbitrage that truly keeps a stablecoin at $1. So those are the key things. If you're going to take anything out of that, is that redeemability. In other words, you're always going to get $1 for it, even if it's trading at 96 cents. And arbitrage is that other people will try and arbitrage that price to get it back to $1, and they'll take that profit themselves. By the way, for a 20-day-old stablecoin, liquidity is growing great. And I said this is really like a soft launch, has turned out, because they have a number of methods of payments. And of course, they've got to set up those pools on the different platforms like Pulsechain and pHux and other protocols as well. And also, you're going to get these DEX aggregators like pDai, which are also going to help with the trading volume and liquidity and arbitrage and lots of stuff. So there's lots of things happening in that space as it matures. It's going to be a very good powerhouse for the Pulsechain. So it's pretty cool. If you watch closely, there's an opportunity for free money on the table regularly in both directions. And of course, we've covered that many times on this because we do track the CST from time to time. The reason this doesn't exist for other stables, USDC, USD Tether DAI, is that somebody else is already arbitraging them for profit, often with bots, right? So we see a lot of bots on the blockchains, including Pulsechain, and of course they do that too. And we're going to see more of that, actually, probably more sophisticated ones too over time. Imagine a passive income stream with no volatility risk. You could earn money while you sleep. Now, the cool thing about bots is that we see a lot of bots, and yeah, they can be a pain sometimes. They can make you pay more, pay more sometimes than you want as well, depending on your slippage. But also, unless you use PTS, right? PTS is designed to, beat the bots out and stop the bots. But also, they also are buying and burning on Pulsex. So all the activities are buying and burning Pulsex, right? So that's an important demand factor there. Imagine a passive income stream with no volatility risk. You could earn money while you sleep. And of course, there it is, a picture of the CST on ramping. You use a digital account, CST, the collateral account there with the stable coin, and then minted, of course, you use a Pulsechain address. So very simple to do. You just basically you get your dollars and do that. Now, Brian has got a referral code. He's going to post that in his chat, no doubt. But you can get a hold of that. You get a 5,000 weight token bonus as well. So you get that, and he will get a 5,000 weight token as well. So it's a win-win for you and Brian. And of course, if you want to bridge in stablecoins directly to Pulsechain, if you're in the United States, UK, Australia, or Canada, you can do that now. In September, we're expecting, of course, that to open up new countries, including New Zealand, which is where I am. And of course, they're going to open up new forms of payment, not just wires and ACH payments, but also a debit and credit cards. We're looking for debits and credit cards, which will be a boom. That's what I call a hard launch, because I think those methods of payments will open up a floodgate of potentiality for funds. Now, Coast itself overall is targeting something, I think, $50 to $100 million coming onto Pulsechain. I think we've had net about 150 million net at the moment on the Pulsechain. So, that 50 to 100 million target really is a big booster. And you know that you don't, just getting a net amount of more money on the chain. And of course, if that's used to actually go and buy assets, is a big driver. So, it's another driver of value. Just like we talked about liquid loans and leveraging, this is another form of pumping assets as well. So it's a big deal. So you can get your own referral code once you're on there, and you can spread the word too, and get a little bit of a bonus there with the 5,000 weight tokens as well yourself. You've got some incentive there too, which is pretty cool. All right, so that is pretty cool on the stable. So we've got the CST stablecoin on at the moment, but we're also getting some pretty weird stuff happening, right, with the DAI. So we've got DAI token here. This is the DAI, and obviously this has been trending on Twitter. You got lots of people jumping around and excited about the pDai, which is great. I love that stuff. I think that's cool. If you've got communities that love their particular tokens and they like the mechanisms that are going on, particularly here with the Troper and DAI and things like that, then good on them. And of course, they're creating a lot of excitement and building up a lot of people to come over to play on Pulsechain, which is always good. We've had a couple of waves here in the price. We've had three main waves in the price of pDai rising. And of course, at the moment, it's kind of, we thought it might break out up here. Didn't break out. Of course, it's come down here with the rest of the market, but it's still holding in this kind of triangle zone here. And we'll see how we go. We're currently at 000706. We've come down there from, about 1,000 overnight. This is on the 1 hourly chart, by the way. And so we'll see how we go. Yeah, it looked like it was teasing us that it was going to break out all this time for quite a while, and never happened there. But in any case, it did move higher, but it didn't break out. So here we are down at 000706. We'll be watching this as well. Still looking okay at this moment, but really needs to hold this 6,400 to maybe keep its potentiality for trying to move up to the next wave, which would be 1 cent, right? Probably heading towards that. We'll see. It's still got to break out above its all-time high, which is 0022, so just over 0.2 of a penny. So still a lot of work there involved in terms of moving up, but we will see. Certainly interesting. What is the dollar? And of course, Richard Hart talked about that, so we're going to talk about that too. But before we do that, though, let's go to another stable coin. These are copies, of course. When Pulsechain copied Ethereum on the 10th of May at 10:36 UTC time, it copied all the stable coins as well, but they're not backed actually by fiat like they are on Ethereum. And of course, that means what are they worth? What are they worth? Well, the market's telling us. And of course, we've had a nice little pump here in USD Tether the other day, also due to this Atropa, related to this Atropa and Blue Toss and other things. But now, of course, we're getting a bit of a sell-off here as well on the old 4-hourly. This is a 4-hourly. That is the hourly chart. So that's the hourly chart there. Make it similar to the pDai. We're at 0.0061 at the moment. So that is coming down quite a bit, right? It's come down quite a bit, but it's still up quite a bit too. At the moment, it's going halfway. But let's hear to Richard Hart. He was talking about this as well in a couple of streams. So let's hear from him.
Pulsechain is fucking interesting because it does things that have never been done before. I think this will blow your mind. People think that Tether is worth $1 because it often trades for $1 on exchanges. But we know that for a while, Tether was fractionally reserved because they had about $600 million seized from a bank. Right. And who knows what the real fractional reserve is? Nobody fucking knows. Yeah. So, but it still traded near $1. And then that makes you wonder, what if it was 100% fractionally reserved? Would it still trade for $1? At what point might, I don't know. So when Pulsechain forks Tether, which has admin keys, they could just invalidate all coins. But their users would probably sue them for doing that because I think that those Tether, even though they're not going to be redeemable for anything, I think they're going to have a value on Pulsechain. I just have no idea what it is. So it's going to be so crazy to see whether stable coins that have no backing at all actually have a value and what that value is on this new chain. And it's going to be an interesting experiment. Yeah, it will be. And this was the bit that kind of got me, was when somebody was saying that, hey, they're going to duplicate the entire state of Ethereum, duplicate all of the ERC20 tokens, and so almost all have double. And I was like, well, wait a minute, you're not really going to have double. You're going to have, if you've got 1,000, different parameters, Tether ERC20, and you've now got 1,000 PRC20 Tether. Those PRC20 Tether are going to have an entirely different value to the ERC20 for the reason you just described. For sure, yeah, 100%. It's a totally different price discovery, and because the PRC20 tokens are not used anywhere else, they're going to be worthless. And then, I don't think so. That's going to be the problem. I got a few tricks up my sleeve. I got some more cool shit coming. I'll tell you about. Oh, you may well do. Everybody does. But, No, I have more than most. I'm the founder of a $50 billion cryptocurrency.
All right, so that was some.
What kind of new tech shit is Richard?
That was some teasing there about Richard's playbook. So this is why when you hear people talking about Richard's playbook, you got comments like this from Richard. So which we were expecting, and when he plays them, no expectations, all these sort of things. We will see, and of course he always sees market conditions. So it's going to be interesting to see a lot of different things play out. And of course, other people can do these things too. They can also do their own playbooks as well on Pulsechain because it's an open place to do business. So it's pretty interesting. So this is what we're seeing in some of these stablecoins. pDai, of course, looking pretty interesting. Currently at 0007, so we'll see whether it can hold on here and try and do its fourth wave at some stage. USD Tether, of course, down at the moment here as well. I'm just going to quickly look at the next one on stablecoins. Now, we're talking about stablecoins, right? So we've talked about the CST coming to native stablecoin on Pulsechain backed on fiat. We've talked about the fork copies like DAI and USD Tether, and of course a Troper out there as well. Playing in this game, particularly around the DAI and a lot of people are trying to pair it with Troper at the moment. So we see a lot of that activity. So what is $1? We see these ones being priced up without even fiat. So the close ones backed by actual fiat. The copies on Pulsechain aren't, but they do have some sort of arbitrage and manipulation and things like that seem to be going on. And then, of course, we've got Liquidity coming, Liquid Loan, coming a fork of Liquidity on Ethereum, which has done very, very well, particularly last year when, the centralized CeFi were falling, like FTX and Terra Luna and things like that were falling. Liquidity was the favored and got valued up by the market. So doing pretty well. Now, liquid loans obviously bring USDL and collateralizing Pulse, which is big deal for Pulsechain. And of course, we're looking forward to that. It's going to operate, and that's going to be always redeemable for $1 worth of Pulse. And the other thing, of course, is that you'll be able to earn in the protocol there just by staking your USDL stablecoin. You don't actually have to go away and buy anything with it. You can earn in there based on redemptions and things like that. Also, they have a dual token system with the loan token itself for the sacrifices, and you'll be able to earn from profits there too. So it's pretty neat there. So one of the big deals, of course, is that we've got other big players entering the stable coins, not just traditional classics like USDC and DAI and things like that, and not our own native coins like CST and USDL and of course PXDC from PUSD based on Pulsechain. But also we've got other players like PayPal coming in, centralized players, players that control. And of course, they're coming in with their PYUSD. And of course, Boris here has got his own comments about this. Believes that PayPal stablecoin, PYUSD, is barely crypto and shares the pros and cons of tech giants like PayPal entering DeFi space. It's kind of they enter the DeFi space, but they're not really DeFi, right? So that's kind of the play there. Do you think it's good or bad? So we're going to hear from Boris as well. So let's play this little clip.
Another massive corporation, a lot of brain power, a lot of capital, all moving in. They're launching on Ethereum. That's powerful. This is what we wanted to see. We want to see adoption. We want to see large players. We want to see entities coming into the space. The obvious cons are that it is massively censored. It's attached to your PayPal account, so it has to be fully KYC'd. And there's something to that. And then on chain, they can literally just completely erase your holdings with two functions: freeze account and a wipe frozen account. That's it. That's all it takes. So this is barely crypto in the sense of how we use the word. This was about censorship resistance, utility, peer-to-peer transactions. This really doesn't offer many of those things.
So these are things with these that I think there's way more cons. Obviously, you heard him talk about there's way more cons. They're not real DeFi. We're not really interested in things like this. This is just control. What's the upside? The upside is they have a big network effect, right? They already have a big customer base. They also can put more capital into crypto. So that's the positive. That's the big win on there, right? But the negative is that you got these functions that can freeze and take your crypto off you. So really, that is the risk. It's like centralized exchanges. It's the same sort of risk, but it's even worse because these guys are even more political. These are even more political than the centralized exchanges like Binance and Coinbase and Crypto.com and things like that, right? Because a lot of those guys want freedom in crypto. A lot of those, not all of them, but a lot of them do. And a lot of them are pushing back against the SEC. Whereas these guys, PayPal, they are just servants to the master, right? And so they're no good. So I definitely think it's a lot negative. But in any case, we've got our own stable coins coming, and I think that's pretty cool. We've also got some interesting price discovery on some of the fork copies from Pulsechain going on there as well, and some interesting mechanisms playing out. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see that, see this going up. But it's going to be huge for our valuations, right? To value up our markets and to be used to push prices up as well. So I'm getting pretty excited. And of course, we're looking forward to Liquid Loans and Power City to launch the liquidity forks as well. That will give us 3 native stablecoins to Pulsechain. And I'm sure those pools are going to get bigger and bigger as well as we, tie out through this bearish market and eventually get into the main game, the bull market on the old Pulsechain. All right, let's see. We've got a couple more comments in the chat there. So Brian's put his referral there for the weight token. So definitely check that out. That is that you get 5,000 weight tokens by bridging on your fiat and directly into Pulsechain. So you're not having to go through many other steps. You just can do it directly. What's the other thing we've got there? Hex there. Now, I do note that we're going to look at the CST stablecoin too, because I do notice that it has improved its pegging value to $1. So that is definitely improving all the time. Hexcavator's in the house there. Hey, folks, good to see Hexcavator. Jenny as well. Very late today. Catch up on the replay on my walk. Nice one, Jenny. Hashtag family channel. Yeah, from Richard. Yeah, Richard's words. Yeah, that's true. We've got Adam as well. There's another peer I've been watching, TSFI Atropa. Yeah, I think I've got that on the list too. I have to check that, but yeah, definitely interesting. A lot of people trying to pair up with the Tropa, right, because of the pDai. Interesting relationship and addresses. Yeah, there's quite a lot of threads on Twitter. Some of the people are more knowledgeable than others on their theories about what's going on there, and they track some of the addresses and stuff like that. Angor says a few tricks up my sleeve. Yeah. We already know that Richard's got tricks up his sleeve, and we always knew that for Pulsechain. So but when he plays them, no expectations, and things have changed a little bit too with the SEC. So we'll see exactly how that goes too. Hexdad in the house there with the oranges. Yes, that's been doing pretty well too, Hexdad. We will talk about that quickly. The Valiant says PayPal says, trust me, bro. Yeah. Trust me. Hashtag I'll freeze your stuff. We saw that happen in Canada, right? We saw Trudeau over there freeze accounts of freedom, people standing for freedom because they just didn't agree with their worldview, right? They had the same sort of protest somewhere else and they let them off, but that's just the way it goes, right? All right, let's jump into some of the Pulsechain projects. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. little coverage of the stable coins, what's happening on here and the different sort of things. We sort of covered all that. But let's have a quick look at the top PRC 20s at the moment in terms of performance. Really peppy is, some of these have got small liquidity pools. So I'm just going to go to the biggest liquidity pools. Actually, everything's kind of down, but we're going to have a look at the biggest liquidity pools. We've got Bitcoin is at $34. So let's have a quick look at that. $34 for Bitcoin. It gives you the kind of the charts there. There's 150K of liquidity in there at the moment. So we did have a nice little rally up to $85, back down to 34 at the moment. But we're still off the bottom. I mean, we were down around about 25, so we're still up from there at 34. Atropa, of course, we talked about pDai on that. So Atropa has been the one that people are talking about. That's definitely down at the moment too. That's at just under 4/10 of a penny, but did start all the way back down here at 0003. So what's that, 300th of a penny? Yeah. So it got really high though too. Got up to 1.3 cents. It's now down at 0037. So we're watching to see whether Atropa has another life in it, or we'll see. And that's pretty much it. We got, obviously we talked about DAI. Peppy. Now Peppy is one of the two things that is going to, I think, looking very good. I know you see the prices down at the floor here, but actually we've got the 9-inch DEX coming, right? So that's for the meme coins. That's a $16 million sacrifice project that's about to launch too. That's going to launch once they get their audits, their code checked up and everything. And of course, that's got to be pretty soon, coming pretty soon, my guess. Maybe probably flick into the beginning of September now, based on the time zone. I did check today to see whether there's any update from 9-inch. There's no updates. But here it is. The price at the moment is at 701. So this is likely to be one of the most popular ones. Peppy, of course. There's nothing really different apart from people believing in this and pushing money into it. Obviously, liquidity at the moment, 98K. And of course, it can go up to the right there, especially when the 9-inch exchange comes out, because there will be, pools where the BBC token, the second token, they're kind of the incentive token equivalent as the BBC token, and on the old Pulsechain. Now remember, there is I think the store out there, the $10,000 logo prize for doing BBC tokens. If you want to get into that, go check out 9-inch. And of course, they got a $10,000 prize there for the winning logo. For the BBC token, basically their incentive token for the 9-inch exchange. Definitely chase that up if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, looking pretty good. And of course, this is probably likely to rally on that as well. Speculative, of course, not financial advice, but definitely looks like one of the obvious ones, right? Maker as well. It's got 58K liquidity. SHIB is the other big meme coin, of course. And of course, SHIB there tried to it's just ticking away there, but we've got 7 zeros 9684. This is likely also to benefit from the 9-inch exchange as well. So those are the top ESG 20s by the liquidity, size of liquidity. Let's jump over to the meme coins quickly. I know we're up to an hour and 3 minutes, so we're going to quickly jump through this. No outstanding performance today on this, so there's no ones in the green. But if we look by liquidity, we're going to have a quick look, and we can see that where did the ETH go? This is one of, so 9-inch has 3 meme coins that the developers have created, and of course, including Hexy Bastard. And of course, one is where did the ETH go? Paul Pleb and Pulse Dodge. So those are all there. They're all down at the moment. And Paul Pleb, where did the ETH go? Let's have a look at that. That's got 74K liquidity. That's down at the bottom too. So these will all probably fly out of the window, like they'll fly up to the right. Plain probability here, right? So when the 9-inch DEX launches, Paul Pleb is the second one there. It's got 26K liquidity. There are a lot of bots on these ones, so just to let you know. And of course, that's down super low. Look at it's down near the bottom here. So these almost look like no-brainers to me. But once again, not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, all that sort of stuff. This one here, Pulse Dodge, is down the bottom here at 0.2 of a penny. They're really at the bottom, and it's got 21K liquidity. So it is a small retail play on all these. But we could see these liquidities inflate pretty fast once the 9-inch DEX launches, and they could all be in the hundreds of thousands at the very least, is my guess. We'll see. Now, the Dogecoin, of course, is Jeff Kadakis from TrustSwap. If you guys know TrustSwap, pretty big launching pad, pretty much is, I think, the biggest one. And it's sitting at 804673. This was one of the meme coins that they launched. They launched 2 from memory. I think they've got do have more stuff coming to Pulsechain, and it's just a matter of following Jeff Kadakis on that one. Now, Hex Orange, we saw Hex Orange there for Hex Dad in the chat, and this is down at 0017. But yesterday it pumped pretty nicely, pumped all the way up to 0027. So it had a good day yesterday, even though it ended in red. It actually had a pretty good day. It's now at just under 0.2 of a penny there at the moment. So there's the one. If you see a lot of oranges around, Hex orange dress, that is it. All right, I think that's it from that. We've got Ben token from BitBoy. That's down there as well, pretty slow. All right, so that is the memes. We've covered the top ERC20, PRC20s. We've covered the Richard Hart coins, of course, tokens. We've covered the meme coins. We're going to quickly go to the Pulsechain projects and see if there's anything positive here. Nothing really positive, but Texan token has actually held up the best. Probably not surprising. It is an endowment token, and maybe that's the reason, but it's actually pretty held up pretty well. Weight token is the second best performer. Flow from Velocimeter is the third. These are on my list, right? This is my list of all projects. I'm pretty sure I've got them all. You can let me know if I'm missing one, but I'm pretty sure I've got all the native Pulsechain projects that have launched. But happy to, if I'm missing one, to add them on. We've got the weight here. So weight token there sitting at number 2 and 4. So that's holding up. Tetrap is number 3 there, and that's only down 2%. So no one's in green, but they're all up slightly there at the moment. So that's kind of cool. Some pretty dramatic falls though down the bottom. We've got P shares way down at $356, so that's pretty dramatic. Let's have a quick look at P share. This is from Pulse Rate, which is a experimental, yield farming gamification platform, ROI platform, I guess it is really. And let's have a look on the daily on this one. That's the daily chart. So yeah, look at that. Wow. So it used to be up at 9,000 and it's now at $356 at the moment. And of course, this is profile, as you see, if you've ever seen these kind of ROI, even if they've got yield farmings in their protocols, this is a pretty common price pattern in these, particularly in volatile times. Obviously, we're very negative volatility since the SEC event here, but certainly still under pressure there as well. All right, so yeah, I think that's kind of the highlights there. Everything else is pretty much down. Now let's have a look at quickly look at GameFi, which is a subset of that. We can look at GameFi, and we can see they're all down as well. But TRH is holding up the best. So let's have a look at TRH. And of course, if you want to get a lot of intel, Archie has posted that in our Discord under PC Other Token Chat. And there's some really sneak peeks into V4 coming out from the looks of it, with some of the new tokens, Holy and Seed. So if you want to get some alpha on that, jump into our Discord. I'm sure the moderators will post a link there, and you can find out some of that secret source that's only on Hex Token channel, because Archie posted it there. How about that? Archie's one of our moderators and kicking some butt there. So we're at 1 cent at the moment on the price there, and it's been as high as 1.3. So holding up pretty well though. Look at that chart. Which you're wishing that chart. It's a pretty good chart to be in this time. So cool. And you're getting the airdrops too. You got the airdrops coming up as well. They must be coming up pretty closely. So that is pretty much it. We got also someone talked about Pulse Strip earlier. They like Pulse Strip. This is the Pulse Strip chart. Let's have a quick look at this. That is the Pulse Strip chart so far. So it's only been around for a little while. Now we talked about it back here when it was around $11, $12. Remember, we talked about that, and you would have made some nice little profits there because it went all the way up to $63, which would have got you about 5.5, 6.5x or something like that. It is currently down at $20.69, which is given the climate at the moment, it's not surprising. And that's 9 days at the moment. So still doing pretty well up there at the moment. It's the old Pulse Strip. It is an ROI game, so very speculative. Obviously, Drip did very well on BNB, but typically the first 2 months, the price can hold up, and then it sort of just starts tailing off for the rest of the time. So the idea is that you got teams and you grow the teams and you get more people on board. But the issue is that you have a 1 day % yield every day. They have a lot of taxes in and out, and taxes for compounding and lots of things. There's lots of that sort of stuff to try and limit that decrease in price. But essentially, you got a lot of inflation coming out, and that's kind of the play. But it's a fun game for those who like those sort of things. All right, so that leads us into finally this last category, which is our stables. Because since we talked about stables, I want to look at Coast and see where that is at the moment. Let's have a look at the liquidity. We've got 70K liquidity. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this is the top one here and the top here. And let's have a look at the daily on this. That is the daily chart. And of course, we're peaked around $1. So dollar is in here. Let's put a dollar. Where's that? The dollar is about here. So that is $1. And you can see we've been below peg most of the time, but peg is improving. Look at that. It's improving the last little wee while. It was under quite a bit under here. but more volumes coming in, and that's kind of cool. And there's also the PHUX liquidity pair, right, on PHUX, so that's doing pretty well too. Slowly in liquidity increase, and I'm feeling pretty bullish on this, and a nice soft launch, so not bad there at all. Pulsechain's first stablecoin, it's starting to really make moves, and it's super early. All right, let's jump over to some of the news as well. I talked about this yesterday, or a couple of days ago. Pteus there has finished their sacrifice project. Our sacrifice process has ended, and we want to express our gratitude for the interest you've shown. Now we have an even greater responsibility ahead of us, and new processes that require more effort are about to begin. Let us briefly outline our plans for the upcoming stages regarding the PTS token. So obviously the sacrifice is finished. Those who sacrifice will get the PTS token and share in the profits. Let's have a look at some of their updates. Sacrifice transactions will be reviewed individually, and final scores will be determined for your allocation. Sybil sacrifices attempting to abuse the process will be ignored. Research will be conducted for tokenomics and liquidity provision. You can be sure that multiple liquidity will be added to PHUX and pulsex.com. So that's the two. PHUX, remember the fork of Balancer. We promised that there will be no dump effect on ecosystem tokens. Therefore, whenever possible, all PLS, PLSX, Hex, and incentive tokens will be used for liquidity. So bullish for that point of view too. So it's awesome. Remember, this is really a super DEX aggregator. So it goes around and harvests all the best, gets you the best rate from all the pools, a bit like PortalX does as well. But they also have, I think, a bit more protection around bots and things like that. So it's kind of cool like that. We promise, what else? That we will enhance the protocol technology, making it faster. Faster is more important because, you know, when we have faster, if you're in a token that's moving faster, it's got a lot of buys and sells, it's moving really fast. This can take a little bit of time, and you can miss the trade and things like that. So that's definitely an issue. We don't see that on GoPulse. That's like 80 times faster because using linear technology for that. So so they're going to try and make that faster, which is good. Make it faster, more accessible, and seamless for an off-chain model. Significant investment will be made in the server side aspect. So awesome. See, things are only going to get better, folks. And of course, this is a great offering on the old Pteus. I think I've been impressed by that. I've used it. Been impressed by it too. The token will be deployed before TGE, and the official PTS contract address will be shared by the community. Transparent information flow to the community will continue at all stages. The inception of our journey has marked by the launch of PTS, and now second phase unfolds as we introduce the utility token. Our journey has just begun, and through the products, features, and economic model we're unveiling, we're poised to maintain our position as a driving force for the Pulsechain ecosystem. As we navigate these challenges, remember that ape.pts.io is your gateway to superior swap execution and EMV bot protection. So basically bot protection there as well. And you find that bots are a real pain in the butt. So if you are going to pick up some meme coins or something like that, then this will help you a lot. Keep on building, and let's forge ahead together. So very, very cool on that. And I thought that was a great update. Now, one thing I want to say about these guys is that, I think people like Archie, Christian, and stuff like that in our Discord were talking about they've used this, and it was really exciting. So I ended up using it myself. But they're very professional. It's a very professional setup, and I'm really liking this. We're getting some really high quality professional teams setting up on Pulsechain, and that bodes well for the future, and really, really liking it. So this is their interface, of course, and it's looking really, really good. They do give you the best routes here as well, so looking fun on that one. They also got a bridge coming from the looks of it. Or they've got a bridge on now. I think they might have a bridge on now, or maybe it's coming. Bridge is coming. But that is pretty cool. So hats off to the team. Did I post that in the chat? I'm not sure if I did, but let me just go up to the top here. And if you want to check that out on Pteus, check it all out. But super DEX aggregator there, and doing a great job. Very professional outfit. You see the website's fantastic. I was going to bring the website up. Where's the website? Pteus at pts.io. Is this the one? No, that's bringing up that. Where's the website gone? I'm not sure I had the website here somewhere. This one here? I think it's this one. That's the website. I really like the way they set this up. Now, kind of cool. Yeah, they ended up raising $761,000, $750,000. That's pretty good. That should give them sufficient income to, money to do that. Pretty cool. And of course, all the swaps that go through there, you're going to get to share the profits if you've got the coin. Pretty much. That's pretty neat there. All right. Very cool. I still didn't get the website. That was the sacrifice page, not the website. All right. That leads us into the Hex daily stats. So let's get into that. Day 1359. And of course, we've got the 22nd of August there. The price is down 8.6% at 0.0393. We've got the Hex Power BTC at 6.6505, so 6.6 basically. The share rate is pretty much the same. The average length there is 7.17 years, just off the all-time high. The all-time high is 7.18 years. The APY yield 39.15% for Hex. We've got 217 million Hex in the pool, $272,000 and 38 Ethereum, it says at the moment. I don't know why those numbers are not changing much, but anyway, we got the T shares are down 3,700. Oh, sorry, up 3,700. So we've got more T shares been mining. We're at 9,818,000 T shares on the old Ethereum side. Let's have a look at the percentage of coins locked. 9.3% of all Hex is locked on Ethereum. We've got a pretty modest penalties again, 186,000. Not a lot of volatility, even with the prices going down. No one is really in staking there at the moment on the ETH side. We got 64.8 million in payout. Nice. We've got 15 more liquid holders, down 4 miners. We're at 120,335 miners. So that is day 1359 on the old ETH chain. Looking at day, let me just double check. Day 102. Day 102 is on the Pulse chain, 22nd of August. We've got the price at 0.006 cents. So that's been down dramatically. Actually, last couple of days, see those down days. We're down 13.6% today. So amazing place to pick up Hex at the moment. Payout BTC at 6.646, so slightly better than on the ETH chain there. We've got mostly the same share rate there, just up a little bit. The average mine length is 7.04 years, so quite a bit shorter than on the ETH chain. APY around 39%. The T-shares are up also on the Pulse chain, just like ETH chain, up 5,900 to 989,861,000 T-shares. Moving to the lock percentage of coins, 9.45% of all Hex is locked on the Pulse chain. Penalties continue to flow though. 1.6 million Hex penalties. Man, they just keep flowing the last 40 days. Absolutely crazy. Let's go back 50 days actually. 50 days. 50 days. We're getting into the 50 day. We're up to what? 42 days? 42 days. 43 days of huge penalties on the old Pulse chain. And that was about 50 days ago, 40 days ago, 30 days ago, 20 days ago, and the last 10 days. And look at those penalties keep flowing with the volatility in the old Pulse chain at the moment. Liquid holders up 32, miners up 14, and we're at 122,904 miners on the old Pulse chain. So onwards and upwards. We're now on day 1,360 on Ethereum. Can you believe it? In our 4th year of Pulse chain. And we're on day 103. 103. Yeah, there it is. It says up here. Oh, we just had a gas spike there on the old Pulse chain there. I wonder what caused that. Old gas spike there. We just caught that while we were there. So that's pretty much it on the old Pulse chain. That is pretty awesome. We covered a lot of stuff. And we've covered the Pulse chain accumulation with Johnny Chaos, which is pretty cool. Obviously, we've got big projects coming as well. So that may be a little bit, we're going to have a bit of uplift there. We've got bearish crypto market, of course. The market, is a bit bearish. And of course, we've got the SEC and a few other agencies out there trying to hamstring crypto and freedom because they're chasing the freedom, right? That's their ultimate goal, is to remove freedom and take control. We've got pDai. What is a dollar? We really are. What is value? What is value? What is a dollar? Rich has talked about that many times. And we've got multiple stable coins coming to Pulse chain. We've got the classics. We've got fork copies. We've got a fiat back copy, a native stable coin. We've got going to have 2 liquidity forks, liquidity copies with Pulse and PulseX. And of course, we've got wild cards out there like PayPal, which ain't great, but may onboard capital into crypto. So that's sort of some of the plays. Let's wrap up here. We're at now 19 minutes. I've gone past my normal time for 5 minutes, but hey, this is the way it goes. Let's jump into some of these final comments. I do like that comment by Valiant. PayPal says, trust me, bro. Yeah, trust me, bro. All right, there's a Pulse chain price at the moment. We're at quadruple 0375. Thanks, Supermancy's Pumpkin Owl. You're welcome. Hoot, hoot. Crypto Truth says, I was just checking on that pDai on PulseX. Interesting price. Hex family for life. Absolutely there, Crypto Truth. 5555, absolutely too. DCA, dollar cost average, absolutely on that one. I need to and must, says Crypto Truth. Well said there. We've got Space Diamond as well. Sup, friends. If you're not looking at NFTs, Space Diamond is launching some of their products as well at the moment. on the old Hex on the Hex Space Diamond. So check that out on Twitter. And thanks a lot for the update, Superman. I'm a big fan of Stargate 2. Observe and learn. Braytech, yeah, well said, man. Well said. I'm very cool. I'm actually watching Stargate SG1 again at the moment, which is funny. All right, I hope you guys have a good day. Let's play out some music on the way up. I'm going to go enjoy my walk, day number 32 out in the sun. We've got sun and winter, can you believe it? And it's a perfectly blue sky out there. At least it was before I started the live stream. So we're going to enjoy that. Once again, take care. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Pulsechain every day. We're going to be rocking and rolling. And I'll maybe talk a bit about, growth strategy on Twitter there that I'm currently doing testing with and had some nice promising results. So we'll talk about that too. All right, take care. Bye for now. Peace out.
Wearing my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.